Hello fans of Marvel Heroes, I hope you had good fun with the Omega event, and it's a very good event for you to catch up on Omega points as well as get more XP for whatever reason, maybe leveling up your team up and so on, or legendary. So I've done a video very early on what's the best way to acquire Omega points, because back then while I was farming for Omega points, I've came up with all these like measurement and so on to see what works best for me back then. But time has changed. Back then there wasn't anything called cosmic patrol, and then once you hit the Omega cap, you can't really gauge like how the whole thing goes. You just feel that okay, it seems quite fast here, it seems quite slow there. So I've done another round of like validation. So I would like to share my findings with you. And also, I've always been wanting to do a video on the Midtown Madness and some of pointers to prepare before you go into the Midtown Madness. It is a very good event for those of you who like to gear up or just farm some rings and so on and so forth. So I'm going to talk a little bit on that. And the hottest topic of Marvel Heroes these days is the Cosmic Gate. So I managed to get some heroes to pass. So I thought maybe for those heroes that I've passed, just give you some pointers on how to get around it, and basically sometimes I realized I could learn from one hero and implement it onto another hero. And as we hear more and more stories on people sharing some success story, we do hear something that can really inspire and then work better on towards the end goal here, which is to get at least one hero going through the Cosmic Patrol. All right, so the first one is the Omega race. Now, because of this whole Cosmic Gate, thing that happens, high Omega points would help in some heroes. So suddenly the focus is back on to the Omega race, because some players are pretty casual in nature. And previously, the game designed quite well, because even if you are not too hardcore in farming Omega points, you could still enjoy the Cosmic Patrol, get some gears, get some orbs, and you're not optimized, but that's fine. You don't have to do it the optimized way to gain XP. So the game was doing fine at one point, but now I knew it sooner or later Omega point would become a requirement to get to certain content. So I worked really hard back then. Well, I was doing Taskmaster, Shocker, and Octopus Cosmic Terminal Rush, and that was the fastest way to get to my Omega cap. And I told many people, so I may as well say it here in public, that it was the most boring part of my gaming career. I did it for a couple of months, to be honest, and I would have quit the game had I not purchased the Advanced Pack 2, because I need to stay on and play the game. So but once I get to cap, I'm very happy. I would like to at least help you guys to find the best way to get there. So what I did was that I got my wife playing as well, and she's only have about 1,005-ish kind of like Omega points. So best test subject. So I asked her to boost herself up a little bit on XP and then play certain game mode. So the benchmark, of course, is Taskmaster. So she did a rush and on the Taskmaster just gained some Omega point, and we kind of like calculated how long it takes to acquire a certain number of Omega point over a period of time, as dictated by the buff counter itself. And then after that, we did Cosmic Midtown Manhattan. After that, we did a Cosmic Industrial City Patrol. So the result looks something like this. The Taskmaster Cosmic Terminal Rush is no longer the best way to get the get your experience. The best is actually Cosmic Midtown Patrol. So if nowadays it's quite easy for Cosmic Midtown Patrol. So long as you pass the very, very difficult gate, then everything becomes very easy for you. The Cosmic Midtown Patrol usually will spawn the boss way, and in between the three bosses, the Man Ape and Black Cat and Mole Man will spawn in between. So usually the group manage to grab everything, and just follow the group in a sense that there's a certain unwritten priority there. We all know this priority, but no one talk about it. So the first one everybody go at is Man Ape. So if you see three bosses spawn spawn or 2 boss spawn, one of them is man-ape, you know everybody's going there. Now, there's no point splitting the people up because, you want to take down 3 bosses in between the waves, right? So the first one always go to a man-ape because everybody will try to get a necklace from man-ape. I still haven't seen one yet, or the unique as well for summoner, which I have 3. The second one is Black Cat. Black Cat doesn't drop anything fantastic, but Black Cat is probably the easiest to down. It's less annoying. Moment is the most annoying one because of his spray that really hurt quite bad if you stand in front. So last time I used to have a lot of questions on like, how am I going to survive like Moment? No, you don't. You just move away from his spray, and he tend to move around as well if you solo the boss. But to those who has passed the Cosmic Gate, I'm pretty sure that these are like a piece of cake for you. So yeah, I mean, you do it in that order, and then try to get 3 bosses before the next wave. So everybody kind of unwritten rule, they all follow that way. So just follow the crowd, right? Just like a migration burst, like, just follow the crowd. All right, so yeah, so good luck with the Cosmic Midtown Patrol. Just go farm there day in, day out, and you probably can get a lot of Omega Point. And for those who really hate grinding or farming, usually I have my mindset of something else when I actually want to farm something. Like for instance, I need to farm Omega Point, but I hate to farm it because I need to. So what I usually do is that I have my mindset say, okay, I want to farm man-ape necklace, which you never drop, right? So once you have that as the goal, then it's fine, right? It doesn't drop, but I still get Omega Point, so it's a very happy situation. So that is how I usually make myself happy farming this game. So now when it comes to the Midtown, okay, so that is the tips on the Omega Ray. So good luck in getting your Omega cap so that can do more Cosmic Trial. All right. When it comes to the Midtown Madness, I do have some tips I would like to. I mean, I know these are very generic tips, but many people don't really do that before the Midtown Madness on Monday. So every Monday, Midtown, whether it's Cosmic or not, will have a lot of loots, and it drops something called the Midtown Madness card or whatnot. So, try to have at least one hero going through the Cosmic, MM. But if not, then you can still go to the normal one because it has all these like cards for you to collect. It's wonderful. So what I usually do is that I'll make sure that my inventory is empty as what you see here, because that is important, because you'll be collecting a lot of stuff here. All right. And then after that, on top of that, I will try to make sure I haven't gone through my team up gear yet, but I will by tonight. I want to make this video first because YouTube usually takes hours to process my video. So get this empty as well, because as you do the patrol, sometimes you get too much loot and you don't know how to put. And you can actually hold the control key, by the way, for those who don't know. And you can control key and shift things around here very easily, right? So sometimes you collect our loots and say, okay, I'm not going to think through it first, and I'll just like store it somewhere first, and so on. Now, how do I use this part? Usually what I do is that I'm a slow thinker, right? So it takes time for me to decide whether I want to equip certain gear or not. So all the hero specific gear, I'll store it into this inventory here. All right. So, but that's just my mode of working. Usually during one round, I'll get quite a lot of gears around. So empty this tool so that when you are in the Cosmic Patrol, no need to think too hard. Should I keep this? Should I not keep this? All right. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is that try to get your credit to as low as possible. I'm going to bring it down to I think less than 1 million after this video. I'm going to roll some health fixes for Rook. Hope that she can pass the Cosmic Gate. Right, so yeah, I mean, I really advise people to drop this to as low as possible, because usually when I play Cosmic Patrol, I'll get quite a lot of credit. I earn about, if I play a couple of hours, I probably could earn about 1.5 million. I hope I could do that in real life, but I can't. And what I do is that I'll enchant the 20 credit per drop. Those recipes you can buy from the vendor. If your vendor rank is 17 and above, you can keep refreshing. I think it's one of the vendor here, if I can show you. No, not this one here. So I think it's one of the vendor, not this this vendor, the other vendor. There's a gear vendor that gives you the credifying recipe. All right, so you have to keep refreshing to get that. So once you have this one, you'll see a lot of credit coming in, and it's good news because you can then use the credit to reroll your fixes and whatnot, or get more better affixes for. Yeah, I'm not going to say that two words anymore. All right, so so that is another tips for you in terms of getting prepared for the Midtown Madness. And yeah, I mean, just get the credit down, get the get the inventory empty. And for me personally, I would actually empty out one of the hero stash. So I do have quite a lot of stash. I have invested a lot in this game. All right, and usually I'll dedicate one of these stash to hold all this any hero you need, because during the Midtown Madness, especially in the cosmic version, you see a lot of useless any hero you need. So use that. I mean, just store them in any hero. Just store that in one of the hero stash and don't even think about it right now. And so what you're going to do with it, up to you. You can roll it for credit box or relics for me. And then now this stage, right? I mean, you think about it. Cosmic Gate make it really hard for some of your favorite hero to get into the Cosmic Patrol. So you could use one of the hero that you pass the gate and to farm those unique, because as you pass the gate, you go to Cosmic Patrol, it's very easy to get duplicated unique anyway, and use duplicated unique to transform into a unique that is helpful for your hero. That's one way to gear. I know it's not the best way, I know it's not the optimal way, but if you can't bring your favorite hero into the Patrol, Star-Lord, then you could always use this method to try to get some gear for your favorite hero, right? I mean, that is the least you can do. Since you've got so many unique anyway, if you can get into a Patrol. So yeah, I mean, that is the only few tips I would like to share with you. And for Omega event, the XP, I think the XP actually goes up per day. Observe those. I have a video on how to calculate the server side boost by some observation. Very easy to execute, so use it and use the boost, because the boost multiply with the server boost. All right, so that is the part 2 of the video. Part 3 of the video is about Cosmic Gates on some of the heroes that I've managed to pass, and to share with you the tips behind some of the challenges I have with the certain hero, and in the end, how do I get by to win the Cosmic Trial. All right. So I'm not going to talk too much about Cosmic Trial, my feeling towards it. I think all of you know how I feel about Cosmic Trial. I'm here just to help, all right? When it comes to Rocket Raccoon, it's actually quite hard, because now the mobs and the bosses are aiming at the hero itself. So as a summoner, it's very, very tough. But the good news is that because Rocket can stealth with burrow, so you always use the drill burrow to go invisible. So I don't know whether you guys use the other one, the rocket dash or the burrow, but I always use the burrow because it will make him go invisible for a very long time, and use this time to recuperate. Why? Because in this very unrealistic cosmic trial, there's no orbs that drop, and when there's no orbs that drop, it's very hard for Rocket Raccoon to regenerate spirit and go on. So what I do, I'll show you my build as well, just in case you guys don't have time to watch my 45 minutes video. So what I do is that I configure 2 toolbars. One is to use the basic, which is this one. Another one to use the minigun, which is for the elite. So the basic, right? The basic, I use it for the basic power, 1 point to it, that's fine, don't need to overdo this. The basic, I just use it to empty the trash mob, even the blue mobs and elite mobs, I just use that. I use the photon minigun for the Hullbuster, alright, the Hullbusters, and the bosses, the Sentinel, and those all that jazz. I mean, yeah, but that is the one that I always use. So because of the spirit issue, just toggle between 1 and 2. Prepare 2 toolbars for the 1 and 2 to dance around. It will help a lot. And in any case, he recuperates spirit very fast with this, because it's like about 10 spirit on his, so just 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Because, well, I mean, you have no spirit kind of thing. And also pay attention to his defense things here, because let me see whether I can proc that for you guys to see. Alright, so you can't really see a bar here, but once this bar is the defense, alright. Once the shield drop to 0, then you will actually take a lot of damage as Rocket Raccoon. So observe this one. If you can raise the shield back, otherwise just go stealth, recuperate health, and continue. Alright, so So that is the Rocket Raccoon for you. There's nothing too much to talk about really, and you have to keep relocating your turret because the bosses, they all move around. So just keep relocating your things and keep an eye lookout on your spirit and try to take out the you know, and try to explore the fact that when the boss is not looking at targeting you, there are moments you can feel that the boss is not really shooting you or targeting you. Those are moments you dump everything you can onto a boss, because the rest of the time you just keep kiting. There's nothing you can do, because once the raccoon get one hit and the shield is gone, the second hit and the third likely to kill him. So you know, yeah, so that is hard. All right, so that is the Rocket Raccoon that I've done the cosmic version. Now how about Ant-Man? Let's talk about Ant-Man. So Ant-Man, I've just leveled to 60. I passed the first gate once, and I passed the second gate again, which is kind of like a surprise in some sense. For Ant-Man, I have actually used a health gear and I have an invulnerable as well core. Now, when it comes to cosmic gate, the invulnerable core is very, very important. So that's why, I mean, you know, sometimes you may only have one hero that can get through the gate. So I mean, don't feel sad about it, because you can collect things like reliquary of rarity, those kind of like you know, orange yellowish kind of boxes. Save them and use the hero you want to gear to open that one up, so that the core, you know, will likely to drop for that hero. So once you get the 25% and the invulnerable, you know, you are pretty safe, but it doesn't mean that you will win, because it could still be quite hard. But for Rocket Raccoon, I didn't have a health. I didn't use a health gear, but for because I need a DPS. But for Ant-Man, actually, I managed to do it without the yeah, I mean, with this invulnerable kind of affixes. And the build that I use, somewhat like this, I don't use things like the for the colony, which a lot of people like it to dump it all, because I need my ends to be around. I need to create decoy now. But the problem with decoy is that on the first test I do, the decoy works really well. But on the second test I do, the decoy actually doesn't quite work that well. So my Ant-Man takes quite a lot of damage. I need to constantly kite around, but I have an invulnerable core, so it makes it a little bit easier. So mine is very easy, right? Mine is just do a red hot and drone strike, and after that I just punch it like, you know, no tomorrow. Tiny takedown, just like the movie Little Guy, like, you know, fighting. But I mean, there's nothing really too much to say about the Ant-Man. I really want to make a video on Ant-Man, but because they are still trying to patch it up next week, so I don't want to do that right now. So I'll wait until they change the hero a little bit, then I'll do a video for you guys. All right, so Ant-Man has a fantastic signature, the Nado. I use it during the Red Scout kind of thing. So I mean, but you know, you have to be careful and try to take down the Hulkbuster without the invulnerable core. It could be even tougher than the Red Scout part of it. So I don't know, man. I mean, no, it's really, really your call. All right. So that's all I can say about Ant-Man. So that is Ant-Man. Now, okay, Captain America, you know, I didn't have any invulnerability core on him, and it's really hard for Captain America. But the good thing about Captain America is that, you know, Captain America has pretty nice burst damage. So when I really count on him to burn something down, he can. So things like, you know, his signature and his, like, you know, airborne, whatever it is. So I've got another video on him as well. So make sure you pop the shield, you know, as and when you really require it to be. So this is important. This is like your bread and butter to mitigate some of the damage. All right. So, but you do need to kite around quite a fair bit. And if you see your health drop to quite rather low, that is a time when you don't want to take any risk. Just kite around the area, recuperate. Maybe use the medkit once, maybe use the medkit twice. Then you go back in again, right? Because you have a burst damage. You know you can win this game. All you need just to recuperate your health. So I have a health gear as well, and you know, Captain America is one of the heroes whereby I have zero spirit issue, but the only thing is that I don't have the invulnerability core, which kind of like, yeah, so yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, I got through, but this is quite hard for me. Saving grace is that he has quite a strong burst damage, so that's cool. Colossus is relatively easy. I mean, I don't have an invulnerable course, so it makes it a little bit harder. But it's relatively easier than some of the hero that I have. The build that I have is very much like the one you've seen in the video. I use a toughness kind of like a toggle. He does have quite a high health as well, especially when his raw is on, and it's quite a lot of team buff on him as well. It's just that yeah, his signature is not that fantastic, I would say. So I mean, it doesn't really burn down everything I see on the screen, so it did take me a while to get things out, because when it comes to Cosmic Gate, you know, the area damage is very important. The good thing about Colossus is that he's pretty strong, so he can take quite a fair bit of punishment, and if you time your raw right, I mean, you know, you can knock those Hulkbuster down for quite a while you try to burn them down with all the might that you have. All right, so that is the only thing I can say about Colossus. Not that hard, but definitely is also another one that is yeah, I mean, another one that I got it through. So okay, so next one on my list would be Doctor Strange. Now, interestingly, Doctor Strange is one of the easiest one I've got it through. It's like quite uneventful. Now, I have a video on Doctor Strange on the one hotbar chat. So one of my friends challenged me, can you do it with one hotbar? I got it almost one hotbar. I actually have one key dancing, but that's fine. His image of icon managed to taunt quite well on the mobs, loose mob and so on. It doesn't work for boss, of course, and you still have to eat the bullet from Madam Hydra. But with all his all these whatever things that are going on, it's actually quite a lot of like area damage, debuff and so on. His signature is very long, but he's really hard. So make use of that. Time it well. Use it when it really count, like the Hulkbuster wave, like the Mac that lock onto you wave. You know, all-seeing eyes are fantastic. Now, I don't really like his. I don't really like his ultimate, because in order to benefit the mental damage side, you have to be quite near to the boss. And one time I actually died because I do that, and I realized that, forget it, I'm not going to do ultimate. So I did it without ultimate, and it was quite uneventful. Just make sure that, you know, you time all your incantation right, and then, you know, when this bar empty, this guy will get reset. So make sure you keep getting the images of icon out, taunting non-stop, and you should be fine on Doctor Strange. It's one of the easier one I have for Doctor Strange. All right. So next one I'd like to talk about is so this morning I've got it from my notification say that, why can you do it on Psylocke? So I was thinking, yeah, I love Psylocke so much, and now oh yeah, by the way, for Doctor Strange I didn't have any I just want to show you, Doctor Strange I didn't have any health gear nor the invulnerable you know, shield at all, just, you know, pure damage for Doctor Strange. So it's nice because it's meant to be that way, I think. Because that is exactly the kind of gear I go into Cosmic Gates, right? I mean, you know, sorry, Cosmic Patrol. Now, for Psylocke, okay, for Psylocke, I've also passed through the gate. Now, Psylocke is actually quite interesting because I use a health gear, I use a health regen, again, no invulnerable. Now, Psylocke can create a lot of like, you know, all these like clones or whatever you call it, the summon. It's supposed to do really well because, you know, all these clones are supposed to distract all the crowd, I mean, at least distract the enemies and so on. But it doesn't work in Cosmic Gate at all, so it's very strange. If you try to zero in and use your single spender to kill anything, you will probably be dead because the mobs will be all onto you and they ignore your summon, which is totally weird. It doesn't. Psylocke doesn't play that way at all. If you summon anything, it doesn't work that way. So that's one thing. And another one is that I realized that I have to keep using the area damage of Vortex and the other one to apply the damage over time. And then make sure you apply the Falling Lotus Strike whenever you can. So these are the main power that you kill. Assassinate is the best one to actually every 4 seconds you go in, because that actually I think this become my main DPS because I can't get in at all. The moment I get it out, I'll get a lot of hits. The moment I go in, I get a lot of hits. And even when I do my signature, right, it's totally I think it's totally stupid, right? Because a Psylocke, you move around a lot, right? And as you do your signature, sure, she's unstealth, but then all these clones are supposed to be there as well. But because the bosses ignore you, so that while you do a signature, you get a lot of hits. So my advice is that you should time where you want to do a signature. I mean, or at least be a bit observant, because if there are 3 Hulkbuster and Madame Hydra and we try to do a signature, everyone will be on you, because I don't know why, because I think you are attacking them and they just go on you. So just be mindful on where you do a signature, because it may end up killing you instead. Alright, so enough of Psylocke and the yeah, I mean, that's the gear that I've used. Alright, so the next one, just a couple more. Alright, I didn't do that many. I've covered Rocket Raccoon already. Scarlet Witch. Now Scarlet Witch is also one of the easiest one for me to get through as well. I didn't have any health gear, no invulnerability as well, just like that. I went in, and I mean the video, the build is already up on YouTube as well. So really nothing to say on Psylocke. On Scarlet Witch. I did it on the using the disruption build. I use it using the disruption build, but I do not know whether chaos build would have worked better or not. But I suspect for the cosmic gates, the disruptive build could be better, because I have things like I can do an implosion, I can do like binding, I can do Iron Maiden as well. I mean the implosion is kind of nice as well. So, and all these are very nice dark hacks. Because I think in cosmic gate, area damage is a lot more important than the single target. I think at least to clear some of those Hulkbuster or whatnot you have. So I mean, and also the signature doesn't really kill off everything. I mean, it's very strange. But yeah, but she's also one of the heroes that I didn't have any problem with. It's actually rather easy to get through, and that's why you see a lot of like Scarlet Witch in cosmic patrol these days. There's no coincidence. Alright. Yeah, so that is on the Scarlet Witch. And after that, the She-Hulk. So now, oh my god, I mean, She-Hulk is stressful, man. I mean, I think I failed once, but I passed the second time, but it was extremely stressful. I mean, I actually had a really bad headache after that. So I passed through Cosmic Gate, that's fine. And I've got a video up as well. I've got invulnerable shield as well. So by right it could be easy, but still it was really hard. So can you imagine without it? I mean, I don't think I can do it without it, seriously. I mean, just to be very frank and honest. So yeah, I mean, this is the part when I would like to say something here, because I know all of you guys been watching all my video and so on, but if you watch Formula 1 or any motorsport, right, I look at myself like an engineer. I study engineering. So I look at myself as an engineer. I know how things work and whatnot, right? I build a car, or I know how to assemble certain things. But I may not be the best Formula 1 driver, right? I mean, you guys are. So when it comes to all this cosmic gate and so on, it's actually quite hard for me. Believe it or not, I'm just like one of you guys who are trying to get through, really. Because I'm an engineer, I'm not a driver. Okay, anyway, put that aside. For She-Hulk, it is extremely hard, because the build that I use is very much area driven, but I think it's hard for the single target for me, because I don't have a powerful single target. You know that everything is in one hotbar, and everything is quite nicely worked out. In a Cosmic Patrol, she works beautifully, alright, but somehow it just didn't work out in a Cosmic Gate. It was really stressful. So what advice to give to you is that you can't do really anything else. I mean, you have to put this one on the cease and desist in the hotbar, so that when the mobs are onto you on the Hulkbuster wave, especially, you stun them for 3.7 seconds. I hope for the best, and try to do some burst damage, because I think She-Hulk is quite nice to take down several targets in one little area. So just abuse that and use it. And by the way, this cease and desist, right, it doesn't seem to work on the Sentinels, but it works on Red Skull. So it helped, because Red Skull do a lot of nonsense while the shield is up. So while it doesn't work on the Sentinel, that's fine. Use it still. At least you just stop the Red Skull from all this harassment and to do your thing. All right. And she has quite a nice what is it called, the the ultimates as well, but she's really hard. Just keep trying and keep, like, sometimes I have to go around somewhere to recuperate and come back in again. So I mean, but you know, perseverance is important, staying alive is important. You only have one life. And I think on the topic of Shihao, the last one I'm going to talk, Shihao had done it as well. Very proud of this one, really. The last one you've seen on my video already. I've got Thing, and the I think a lot of people ask me, like ask me about, you know, I don't have an invulnerability as well. Thing is quite easy, so long as you, I use the slot 5 is a Kirby slot 5 that gives me a humongous amount of health, but sometimes it's not about health as well. You have to dish out quite a lot of damage. So it's okay. So Thing, maybe since you know, I'm going to do a video on Thing next, but you know, maybe just to talk a little bit about Thing is that I'll try to pick those power that are, you know, that are doing damage, because Thing itself doesn't do a lot of area damage, so it becomes tremendously difficult. So you know, at first I couldn't win, but then after that I picked this card up, the Foot Card Fling, and then because Foot Card Fling drop all those orbs, and it's wonderful. Sometimes I get healed back up again because of the orb that drops. So so this is a very useful for the build. And I don't use any of these summon, especially things that stop me there a little while. So I use the Yankee Street Gang to give me the power buff, and after that I just use the you know, punch it all the way, because I'm using it works really well for me for this build. So yeah, I mean, I think that is some tips for you on this 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 heroes. I hope this video has been useful. You could actually use some of this philosophy applied to your other hero as well. Now I think in closing, maybe I just share with you one story. Maybe that would probably change your mind a little bit on at least how you feel about the whole thing. I mean, you know, I'm Omega Cap. You know, I know this game mechanic quite well, and so on. You know that I have all this like upgrade recipe, but I couldn't, for the life of me, I couldn't get my Scarlet to pass the gate. I mean, my Scarlet for all intent and purposes is 29,000 health. I actually get him up to be quite high, but he's so fragile that and not only that, I mean, if he does his signature, he has like a 1 second animation, and the whole thing just stuck there for a while. And then guess what? I can't kite, and then if the Halbaska come and hit me, if I don't manage to freeze it, then I got hit. It's almost dead. And if once I move out, Halbaska move out, and guess what? The signature hit error. Some hero just terrible design when it comes to Cosmic Gate. They work really well. I mean, you've seen my Scarlet really well in Cosmic Patrol. You know, it was a lot of blast happening, him elemental build. So I tried 2 builds, none of them worked for me. So you know, if you're feeling very not happy, and especially when you hear people to be having success story and you're not successful, sometimes it could be Omega Point that you can work on, but sometimes it could just be the hero. I mean, my gear for Scarlet is top notch. Still can't get it. The one that failed for Scarlet is the time to live, not time to kill. So, but it is. I mean, you know, a few hit from Madam Hydra 1, 2, 3. That's that. I mean, you know, what can I do? So, yeah. I mean, I don't know whether all these things are useful to you guys or not. I mean, I hope, in a way, I share some success story, some inspiration there. But in the event whereby you feel really bad and unhappy, you know, don't be, because you know, some of the heroes are really just very hard on the Cosmic Patrol, really. So yeah, yeah, I mean, let me know in the comment below how you think about the whole gate and so on. I personally would like to see the whole gate gone, or even change into something that is more friendly, because I don't think it really serves the purpose at all. But that is yet another story for another day. So till the next time we see each other, goodbye and good luck with your event. All right, bye.